So your house is a disaster. You have laundry piled up, you have things that you don't even know where they came from, and you're like, how do I keep my house tidy? This simple trick is going to keep your house tidy, not clean, by the way. Clean to me means like all the surfaces are dusted and all of that. If that's what you came here for, definitely not going to be able to help you in that department. But when it comes to keeping my house tidy, my house is tidy most of the time because of this one trick. So what I do is I take a basket. Today I'm taking this basket. Sometimes I take a laundry basket, just depending on what I have available and what's empty. And I go around the house and I start with all of my surfaces. And I put everything that does not belong in that room. Maybe it's supposed to go to the kids' room, or it's supposed to go outside or whatever. Everything goes in here. And then what I do is once a week, I empty it out on the table, on the bed, somewhere, and I put everything into categories and I bring it to the appropriate location. This has helped me to keep my house looking clean, feeling clean, and if in those days when the basket hasn't been cleared yet, haven't cleaned it out, everybody pretty much knows that's where their stuff has ended up, if it's sitting out. And so when you keep up on this every single day, there's less and less things that end up in the basket, and there's a lot less to tidy and clean up, and your mental space is awesome. So let me show you what my house looks like right now, and then I am going to show you how I clean everything up in under 10 minutes.
Typically, I start with the kids' toys. I usually have them actually pick them up, and as you can tell, they don't have a lot of toys in our living room. As we go through each room, you'll kind of see I do not keep a lot of toys. We actually got rid of over 70% of our toys. I would even argue maybe 80% of our toys, but I have a lot of them in a closet, so that way the kids don't have access to them all the time. This was something I learned from Dr. Kim John, I believe, in the book Simplicity Parenting. So here what I'm doing is I'm just taking all the clean clothes that I had folded and put aside that need to get hung up, and I'm just putting them in the laundry basket for me to take care of at a later time. I like doing this because it just eliminates the mental clutter. I don't have to worry about putting this away right now. Maybe when I get a few minutes while the kids are in the bath, or maybe during their movie time, like I can put these things away and do that. Now, I also find that when my environment is cleaner, not only do I feel better, but my kids' behavior is so much better. This contributes, I believe, like the clutter and the excess stuff really contributes to how our child feels. And it's important that we are setting up an environment for them to thrive in. And so often I'm asking myself, is this behavior because of me, my nervous system, or is it because of my environment? Is it because of added stress that is just unnecessary? Every single thing in our home is taking up mental space, whether we like it or not. That's something I love about the book Simplicity Parenting, that it teaches is information, whether it's physical or we're listening to it, hearing it, visual, I guess it would be auditory. All of that is all input going into our brain and into our kids' brain. So it's important that we are regulating that. Now you're going to see here I'm cleaning off the windowsill with anything that doesn't belong here. I find that there's these little spaces in my home that kind of catch all of the things throughout the day. I put things up on a shelf so that way kids can't reach it, or the kids are kind of piling things up in a corner or whatever. And so I find myself tidying these areas often.
Okay, so the entire kitchen living room combo is done. That took me about like 4 minutes maybe. Also, I was adjusting my camera and I was doing, I got myself a drink. And so anyway, you can see how fast that took. But you can see all the things that just do not belong here. And granted, I do this every single day, but there's still stuff just from our daily life. And so imagine if you're doing this every day, how little time it's going to take to keep your house tidy and clean. So let me show you what these two rooms look like right now, and then I'm going to move on to the bathroom and to our rooms.
Another thing that I like to do during the day is kind of pick up as I go. Sometimes I'll leave this basket in like my living room or in my bedroom if it's really messy and I intentionally want to put things in it, but maybe I'm cooking breakfast or whatever. I don't want to be constantly cleaning right now. So I will just leave the basket in a spot that I can throw things into. It's very easily accessible for me to just throw things into to help tidy things up quickly. Places like the bathroom, I don't find get very messy easily, so that's always an easy room. Sometimes I do an easy room first just to give myself kind of that excitement of getting things done. Now you're gonna see here, I am not making our beds. I'm not doing anything extra. I'm literally just picking up the floors, picking up the surfaces, so it's all clean. I do have my kids typically help me with doing this before bedtime. They kind of just know this isn't their routine, but as you can see here again, they don't have a lot of toys. So there's a few stuffed animals. They really love their dress up stuff. They love their magnet tiles. So that is all they have access to during their quiet time or really just any time of the day. I also have a lock that goes onto the sliding door, and that is really helpful in keeping the room tidy because they can't get into extra things that could be stored in that area. Any of the laundry that's clean, I'm just leaving on top of their dresser, which you'll see here in a minute. And that just gives me the ability, again, at a later time when I'm gonna put away that other laundry, to be able to put that away. And it just makes it so nice and easy.
This room actually took me the longest. It took me about 2 minutes and 30 seconds but as you can see, clean clothes, haven't even touched those, so I'm not even gonna touch the clean clothes or anything, but infinitely better.
Next, we are working in me and my husband's room. We try to keep our room what we call a safe space. This is a place where my husband and I can go if we're getting frustrated maybe with the kids, or we just need a minute to like chill out. And so I try to keep this room very, very minimal and having very little things out. Our kids do not have access to this room, which is really nice. And so I was so happy to see this was easy to clean and didn't take me more than probably 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm all done. There was honestly a lot more stuff than I had anticipated. I figured this was gonna be pretty empty, and I was surprised by how much was in here. And this is just my encouragement to you, is like, as somebody who has a very I would say like minimalistic home. I hate saying minimalistic, but somebody who doesn't have a lot in their home, I just want to show you how messy it can get. And I even cleaned up before this video because this morning I had started cleaning up. We had such a busy day yesterday and I didn't get to clean up last night. And it's like amazing how fast and quick the house can get crazy, especially with 2 kids, 4 and 2. Something that I forgot to mention is that obviously now I have to go and disperse all this stuff where it's supposed to go, but I don't need to do this today. This is not something I need to do right now because everything is in the basket taken care of. Usually I just leave this like in my living room or maybe even in my room and close the door so the kids don't get into it. But I keep it somewhere where I can easily put things into it if I'm catching it throughout the day. That's also helpful too, kind of as I'm going along, just having a basket out and ready to put things where they belong. So I hope that this tip was helpful. I hope that you bring this into your home. I hope that it makes the difference that you are needing to keep your home clean so your brain isn't so cluttery. Anyhow, if you like this video, if it was helpful, if you've tried this trick and you're like, this totally works, make sure that you hit that thumbs up. And as always, don't forget to subscribe if you like this kind of content. So alrighty guys, happy parenting.